While Elon Musk was interfering with the funding of our government with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and others in Maga, distracting American people here, he was doing something internationally that's deeply dangerous in Germany. And basically, the same time he did this in Germany, there was a terrorist attack at a Christmas event in Germany. And let me just connect this all together. So Elon Musk posts, only the AfD can save Germany. And then on this chain, which was supported by a lot of kind of right-wing German accounts and neo-Nazi accounts, J.D. Vance then responds, it's so dangerous for people to control their borders, so dangerous. The dangerous level is off the charts, essentially promoting Elon Musk's post, only the AfD can save Germany. Now, the AfD is essentially a neo-Nazi political party in Germany. It stands for Alternative for Germany. And the individual who engaged in this Christmas terrorist attack in Germany was both a big fan of Elon Musk and a big fan of the AfD in Germany, and embraced all of this AfD kind of neo-Nazi rhetoric. The individual is from Saudi Arabia, and so he has a name that looks to be a name of someone who's from Saudi Arabia, but the individual is actually an anti-Muslim, anti-Islam individual who believes that Germany should basically be shut down, even though he's from an Islamic country and he immigrated to Germany. His view is basically the German border should be shut down. All immigrants should be sent away, even though he's an immigrant. And he identifies as an atheist. Here's how CNN just described the event, the terrorist attack. You may have seen it on the news. At least 5 people, including a child, were killed and more than 200 injured after a car plowed into a crowd at a Christmas market in the German city of Magdeburg on Friday. Local authorities say, again, same time that Elon Musk was saying that it's the AfD that can lead the way in Germany. It is unimaginable that this is happening in Germany. Rainer Hasselhoff, the prime minister of Saxony-Anhalt state, on which Magdeburg is the capital, said during a visit to the scene of this terrorist attack. So here you have the vice president-elect, J.D. Vance, supporting, and we all believe, right, that Elon Musk is pulling Trump's strings at this point. It's at least my opinion. You can have your own opinion. Only the AfD can save Germany. Here's how Joe Walsh describes it. So 2 days ago, Elon Musk tells the world he's a big fan of the neo-Nazi AfD party in Germany. And then yesterday, a terrorist who's a big fan of Elon's and also a big fan of the neo-Nazi AfD party in Germany drives a car into a Christmas market, killing innocent people. Do I have that right? Joshua Reed Eichel says, so far-right terrorist drives car through crowd in Germany. Reporting shows that the terrorist is a fan of the AfD and Elon Musk. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance then decides it's time to comment to show support for the AfD. Dean Abdallah says the following: as media outlets in Europe are reporting, the terrorist who drove into the German market was a former Muslim who was very anti-Muslim and a supporter of the far-right AfD party in Germany, which Musk supports, the AfD party, that is. It appears the attack was designed to help AfD and the far right. An individual over here, Mr. Naudit, says the following: if you criticize Trump or Elon Musk as a European, you are called a Nazi and told not to interfere in American politics. If Elon Musk praises the most inhumane party in Europe, that is supposed to be free speech. The AfD is so radical that the right-wing parties in Europe do not want to even work with the AfD. Many AfD members openly support Russia, visits to Russian embassies on Russian holidays, documented payments to AfD members from the Kremlin. Perhaps the worst thing about the AfD, they believe that all foreigners should leave Germany. This party is no better than Hitler's NSDAP. And then he goes, but free speech. You go through this a little bit more. Here's what Mother Jones is reporting. Elon Musk applauds the German neo-Nazi party. After rallying behind Trump, the tech billionaire supports AfD and other anti-immigration parties. They go on to say that only the AfD can save Germany, he posted, and you saw that. After he was responding to Naomi Seibert, a young German right-wing influencer. The Washington Post dubbed her the anti-Greta Thunberg for her climate change denialism, whose caption in part read, "The presumptive next chancellor, Friedrich Merz, is horrified by the idea that Germany should follow Elon Musk and Javier Milei's example." Similar to Argentina President Javier Milei's chainsaw policies, Musk has promised $2 trillion in cuts to federal spending. And then this goes on to talk about the AfD. The AfD is a controversial even among other European far right-wing parties because many of its leaders are not shy about expressing Nazi sympathy. In May, France's far-right party, led by Marine Le Pen, split from the AfD in its European Parliament coalition after the German party's top candidate, Maximilian Krah, said that a person was not automatically a criminal just because they had been a member of the SS, Adolf Hitler's paramilitary organization. As my colleague Isabella Diaz wrote, many Germans consider the AfD party as an ethno-nationalist party who wants to mass deport all unassimilated citizens with non-German ethnic backgrounds. The country's domestic intelligence agency designated the AfD as a suspected extremist group back in 2021 and is currently holding the party under observation. Reports that AfD members held a covert meeting regarding the mass deportation plan led to protests earlier this year, but despite this, the party is polling in second place at 19%, behind Merz's CDU-CSU political alliance at 31% in the lead-up to Germany's snap elections in February 2025. It means there's a big election in February 2025, and now American people, MAGAs, the Elon Musks, the J.D. Vance, are now trying to interfere in the politics of Germany, and they're trying to prop up this right-wing kind of authoritarian coalition internationally. German Chancellor Scholz says the following: there is freedom of opinion, and freedom of opinion also applies to multi-billionaires, and it includes the right to say wrong things and that don't contain good political advice, he went on to say. But you think about the people who they're propping up as well, people who want to tear down and rip up government. So one of the big people who the MAGAs love is that Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, who says, "My contempt for the state is infinite." He's posted photos of himself with chainsaws, very performative guy. Under Javier Milei, right now in Argentina, you have a poverty rate of 52.9% in the second half of last year. 52.9% poverty rate. Can you imagine if that was here in the United States of America? That's their role model, Javier Milei. Their other one is Viktor Orban, the far-right authoritarian leader of Hungary. You see him there with Elon Musk. Donald Trump often posts about Viktor Orban as a great leader and a great man. Viktor Orban is a puppet of Vladimir Putin, basically an emissary that Putin sends around. Viktor Orban in Hungary, I think their entire GDP is under $200 billion, which is less than the revenue at a number of major American corporations. And their inflation was like, recently at like 17 or 25, but they had high inflation, 17, 25%, something like that. recently. This is not a big country. Viktor Orban's not a great leader. But, he parrots all of the anti-LGBTQ, anti-trans, it's all that same rhetoric and language. So what we see here, though, is that Maga is trying to create this international alliance. Their scope is international, uniting right-wing authoritarian type leaders across the world. It's why I say that here at the MeidasTouch Network, our efforts have to also be international in scope. It's why we focus here on a lot of news in Mexico and Canada and the UK and Australia and in Europe and in New Zealand and across the country, across the world, rather, different countries. That's what our focus is on now. A lot of global coverage here for that reason. Now, I do think the fact that this terrorist attack happened from a sympathizer of this German party that J.D. Vance and MAGA is supporting was a big moment for people to wake up and say, wait a minute, what? What are you doing? Now, I know this type of coverage may not be what you're used to seeing on corporate media and cable news, and they probably didn't cover this much at all. Maybe a little bit of coverage, not devoting a full video in length like we're doing here. But I think it's important that you see what's happening, that this right-wing authoritarian movement is international in scope, and what they're trying to create in a new international world order, which in my opinion is ultimately to undermine the kind of current world order, which is kind of NATO-based, America as the leader, and with allies, with our traditional allies. And they want to move us closer to basically being a satellite of Russia and Putin at the end of the day, who is also kind of one of the main individuals, or the main individual commandeering a lot of what you're seeing in Germany, Hungary, and elsewhere. So let me know what you think. And we're going to do more coverage like this as well here on the MeidasTouch Network. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Watch my interview with President Biden if you can.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.